Walaikum salam, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir. How are you? I'm waiting till the timing was really a little bit difficult because just at 5 o'clock the Azan was there. So I just said my prayer, then came. So I believe that we could easily manage these things. Within this 10 minutes, we can say our prayer, Asr prayer. So uh, still I saw that one of you is affected by COVID. So still I am not happy to hear the news. So I believe that who is affected by COVID is still he is mentally and also like family within the family he or she is all right. Okay, so if you want to communicate with me, you can communicate with me personally. Okay, I will try my level best to support you for your mental health as well as for your educational aspect. Okay, so who is now affected by COVID, please if you want you can communicate with me, okay, personally later on as well. Okay, and most of you, as I told you that most of you are like cheerful with smiling face, and you know this is one of the networking things. So I believe that from you I can also like you are sharing the smile, so I'll also feel happy and spread my smiling face even after the class. Okay, so most of the cases I am also waiting that when I can start the class with you, and others are not mentally okay and not feeling good today. So I believe that you will also be feeling happy after finishing this class today. And if you really want to have some like let's talk, okay, during the class, so that you can also feel happy because you know that this happiness can be shared from one place to another place. And I am really worried about those who are now living in southern part like Khulna division and Khulna division and my watch. Okay, because it's now recognize the voice. This Google Bixby, they are not like you know that they are always recording the voice with the machine learning. So I said, "How are you?" and it's open. Okay, so those who are now living in Borishal district and Khulna district, please take care from the cyclone. So maybe it will not that much will have that much big impact on Bangladesh rather than in India, but there will be Joar Bhata. So please take care about those things because I can see the effect on the news. And those who are in those areas, also be careful about the virus from the India, okay, Indian variant. So we are really afraid of those things, and also the black fungus, something like that, the new kind of things. So please take care, take care. I am praying for you, and please pray for me as well. Okay, pray each other. Okay, so first of all, let me share the screen a little bit. First of all, I'll share this thing, but before that, let me clarify. Today I'll show you so many videos, okay? So no worry, just be with me. And yes, most of you are feeling happy, and Alhamdulillah. Okay, already 91. So I want to first of all I want to show that uh, this is actually the feedback things what I have collected most of the cases. So you can easily see that last week it was on 20. So and from 5:15 and 6. So some of you even uploaded the things even on Saturday. Okay, I took those things as a late submission, but please be heard that please at least submit, okay, because I want this one as a feedback. And here I can see some of the feedback is really really like help me to improve my classes. Okay, so give the feedback. And most of the cases I took the attendance from here. I told you that those who will apply, I can get the attendance from here, but I also can get the attendance from Zoom. Okay, so this is actually the Zoom, and from here I can see who is attending in which time and who leave which time and so on. Okay, so I have all the record. Okay, so even for the attendance, I can show you that the attendance things are coming this way. Okay, so you can easily see that who is entered which time and who leave which time, how many time they are on the screen, and because it is 195, but our student is only around 143. Okay, so I have another one with the unique ID, and with that actually I can see that total number of minutes who is now present during my class. So somebody like I really congratulate in last class student number 135, Asif Jahin. Asif Jahin, are you here? Asif?
I am 131, sir.
Yeah, you're 131. Okay, so thank you, because I can see you that even the classes was around 100 minutes, but you were like before studying the class you were there. But I can see someone who just enter and leave. So like Sarah Abbas, I don't know whether you have some trouble on the computer or not. So you are there only for 2 minutes. Okay, so please be aware that I can take the attendance from there, because this is from the Zoom. I have all the data, and this is not because if you really have some trouble, please give me the feedback during the feedback. Okay, just sir, I have something, and there are so many students, they give the feedback inside the classroom. The sir, I cannot apply correctly or something. Okay, I can see all the things. Okay, so make the proper utilization of data communication and networking. So we are I am using this thing because we have created these things. Okay, so please utilize this one. And here I can see even some of you wrote the comment, the sir, I was late, I couldn't sign something. Okay, so please write down the things. Here I can see last years, here I can see, yeah, because the comments are there. I can see the comment. Assalamu alaikum, sir. These comments are there. I read the comment. So I try to, if it is not serious, then I just stop. Otherwise, I try to reply. And there are so many missing as well. So even in the assignment, please be aware. Okay, and
sir,
yes,
sir, in the last class I have filled the form, sir. I have submitted in time, but sir, in Saturday or Sunday when I was checking my phone, I saw that my assignment is missing. So
no worries, sir.
I turned in.
Yeah, you can write down.
Yes, sir, I have written the private comment already.
Fantastic. I told you that do those things so that the communication we can do really in a transparent way, because all the things are here. You don't have to say that, sir, I told you, because I can see. So I'm just telling that you have done, and those who have not, please do these things. Okay, so today along with the feedback, I have given one assignment. So please read the assignment. It was very easy, straight cut, because I gave the question before. So there are two things. So one is for your own internet, which things will you use, packet switching or circuit switching? Justify your answer. If you like packet switching, right? If you like circuit switching, write those things. Then you have to answer these things. Those sometime this question will be little bit earlier thing for you, because after finishing the course, some of the question will be like you can answer those questions correctly. So I just give these things so that in the whole process, like till the end of the class, till the end of the semester, till the end of this classes. Okay, so you can find out the answer. Okay, so for this it is totally open book. You can use the internet and other resource as much as possible. Okay, you utilize the graphics, illustration. So please read the instruction, but do not copy. Okay, do not copy paste from other student. Do not just give other student things, because I have given I put the rubrics as well as I put the plagiarism thing. So if anyone copy from other person, both of them will get 0. Okay, so for that reason, sorry.
Assalamualaikum, sir. Can it be handwritten, please?
Maybe it can be handwritten, but I asked to submit as PDF. Okay, so that it can be stored inside. So handwritten PDF can be also uploaded, but I prefer to upload the digital form, because I know this is open book. At the end of the semester, if I ask to revise this question, maybe you can revise it again. This is actually not, because this is open book. So for that reason, my intention is that you learn the things through the whole class. Okay, because something you can answer with your this 1 month or 1.5 month knowledge, and something you can easily upgrade your knowledge. Even the same question, you can revise your answer even after the semester. For that reason, I am just asking that if it is possible, please write down by yourself. Okay, so it is 1 week time, because you will get chance to revise it again, modify it again. In the, maybe I can give it the second assignment with the similar kind of question. Okay, so for that reason, you can add all the things. This is not a assignment, rather than just think. This can be the manual for you for your future work. Okay, future things. So from the internet, whatever things you like about the course, just put all the things in here. Okay, write down here. Okay, so I believe that I give. Sorry.
So you can write it down when we scan it, the PDF.
You can write.
I mean, we can write it.
Yeah. So I just did.
Handwriting.
Yes. I said that please upload Google Docs or PDF is preferable. Okay, not
So-
other things.
So when is the date for submission?
1 week. You can get all the thing
June
here. Yeah, 1st of June. Okay.
Sir,
No worry. Okay, so if it is handwritten, you can write down and upload. Okay,
sir,
this can PDF. Yeah.
so there are some sections like creativity, originality, sir. Is
Yes.
this the marking that you will
Yes,
you
yes.
will give us?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay, sir.
this is the rubrics. So I'll judge you, because 20 marks are there. I'll judge you with creativity, then originality, then organization skill, then problem solving ability, then technology use, and overall presentation. Okay, so I ask you to like, you can say that how you judge the creativity and other things, because I ask you to search from the internet. So maybe you can search in the internet like packet switching. I'm just searching. Okay, packet switching versus circuit switching. Okay, just so if I even search these things, just look that within 1 second I can get 1 2 3 4 6 66 6 million result. Okay, so from this 6 million result, what result will you choose? Okay, that depends upon your searching creativity. Okay, this is actually that the 6 million result you will not use, rather than you will use something which is relevant or which is very good or something. Okay, so I will give the mark depending upon that. Okay, creativity, then originality, that how it is different from other person, then organization skill, that how you choose the things. Okay, then technology use, problem solving ability, then overall presentation. So these are the things, not the copy pasting from the internet. I'll give the mark, rather than I'll give the mark with this. I feel that it will be fun. Okay, just try. So for that reason, I'm just saying that if you write digitally, it's preferable. But if you write scan and PDF, it's also okay, because I'll check all the things one by one, because I'll check all the things one by one inside the Google Classroom. So over there, I'll just check one by one. So you know that the checking is, I'll show you that how I'll check. The checking is today's slow.
So,
Oh, you-
sir,
Yeah.
could you just like now give us summary of all the things that you told us? It's like একটা করে, you just let us know what are the things that we have to keep in mind while we do this.
I didn't get.
Mane, you have told us a lot of things right now, right, sir? Just like in one go before you start the class, sir, you just tell us.
Okay. So listen, in one go, I'll tell. Okay,
Yes, sir.
in one go,
Yes, sir.
I'll tell. But the thing is, the whole class is recorded, so you can easily check
Okay, sir.
the class like 100 times. Okay, but in one go, I'll give again, because the assignment is assigned here, so I can check the rubrics and other things. Whatever I said, that everything is written straightforward way here. Okay, if you cannot understand, please write down over there in the private comment. I can check the private comment here over here. I will try to explain. Okay, so communicate with me, okay, through the Google Classroom. Communicate with me through the Google Classroom, and everything is written over here, everything. And it will be, you're smart enough to read all the things, I believe. Okay, and if you cannot understand, maybe we'll check, and because this is open book, everything will be there. Okay, I have not say anything regarding the packet switching, because these are already discussed. Okay, and today I'll show so many videos regarding this as well. Okay, and instruction is there. Hey, in one go, instruction is there. Okay, you need to write down by
Yes,
yourself.
Yes, sir.
Write
through it,
down
sir.
by yourself, no copy paste. There must be original writing. If you are finding copying from other resources, you will get 0. Okay, also do not copy and paste from other student. All connected student will be 0, get 0. That means the best student and the worst student, both of them will get 0. Okay, so it is just go to the internet and use as much as possible illustration. If the illustration is like if it is handwritten or other things, take the photo and scan. I have written all the things. Okay, you don't have to ask, and this is a problem, and all the things are there. Write down the same thing in the Google, you will find out some solution. Otherwise, just read. It will be fun. It's a fun assignment. Okay, open book, and there is no limitation of the page, so use as much as possible. Okay, this is the case. Don't make it pressure on you. Okay, so let me start to this class.
Sir,
And yes,
I
yes.
can see the mark distribution there. So will it be short question answer or long question?
I didn't get.
There is no mark distribution, so I can't get short question or like 2-3 line or long question.
Okay, listen. I told you that I don't. Why? Like, can you imagine? I couldn't even start my class. You take the exam so seriously because you are thinking about the mark. Forget about this 20 mark. 20 marks. The rubrics are very straightforward. This 20 marks will come from your creativity and other things. So it's 1 week time. There is no price limitation or other things. So I told you that from the internet, there is no time limitation. From the internet, whatever information you'll get, please put those things all together here. This is your sheet. This is your page. You and I only can see these things. No other person can see. Okay, this is your document, even for your whole life. So even before the interview, if you think that in the interview I need to prepare myself for internet or this packet switching, please open these things. So this is a assignment for your creating manual for yourself for your future. I will just check those things. This is not the mark means mark. If you try to fail, I'll guide you to pass again. Do you get me?
Thank you.
So
Yes, sir.
don't take it as a serious thing, okay?
Yes, sir.
Take it as a learning stage because it's a open book. So for that reason, I'm not counting the mark. I am counting that how we can search, because searching in the internet is also need one skill, because you have to search from this 6 million result. If I just put only packet switching, it will be 3 crore. Okay, 3 crore result. From the 3 crore result, how can you like choose your best one? So searching, utilizing Google is also needs some skill. I just want to makes you develop those skills during this class. This is my aim, okay? Through this like assignment, okay? Don't think about the mark, okay? Forget about the marking thing, okay? We have already, the teachers, as a teachers, I have already forget about how we took the class before. I really renew myself, okay, how to take the class in a new way, okay? So I am checking your skill. So this is the case, and those who are there, please give the feedback correctly, and all the things are there. I'm also checking, and use the Facebook as well, okay? I am giving something, so use the Facebook. So I really like your this printed things. Why I like, because the last class I put in the menti.com. There are two things. I couldn't go for the other question, but these things are really charming, because here I just read most of them. Only I find that there are irrelevant things like KHK and the SAR. Other things are relevant here. Yes, the KHK, SAR, and Halim. Otherwise, you wrote most of the things which is really relevant to the topic. I really love those things, because you people can write anything. But I really like your batch that whatever things are here from 153, yeah, you can see, check myself that around 153 are there. So you can see here around 153. So these things are very good. The CGPA, don't take the CGPA. CGPA should not be here, okay? But I like all the words. Please keep in mind that this word, please don't leave the class, don't finish the course from this semester and next semester without understanding any of, like, if you don't understand any of the word from here, don't leave the course, okay? Please ask me or ask your friend, any of them from the Google Classroom or the Facebook or whatever. Please learn those things, because in the whole rest of your life, you have to. Next one was there. I don't know that there are some grammatical mistake, baby, but I really like here also that you try to give some answer as well, okay? But just thanks, okay? I'll get this kind of poll again. So regarding today's class, actually I'll take only the previous 3 questions, okay? Today's feedback, maybe 19, okay, 19, then 20, 21, and 22, okay? So before starting these things, today I will show you some videos, okay? So those video, let me show, then let me discuss the class, because those classes will be more beautiful if I show the class like videos, because these things, otherwise this kind of cables, usually I took it during the physical class. So you can see that what is the fiber optic cables or what is the hub. But today I just want to show some of the videos. Then come back to those 3 questions. If time permit, I can show some of the more videos. Okay, so I believe let me share the screen so that you can hear the music, because today I could not optimize this. Okay, so this is the first video I want to show. If you can.
Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 different internet access technologies. So we're going to discuss the difference between broadband cable, DSL, and fiber. So let's start with broadband cable. Now, cable internet is a high-speed access technology that uses a cable modem with an attached coaxial cable which provides a link to the internet service provider. Broadband cable is typically provided by the same provider that provides cable television to their customers. And because it's provided by cable television providers, broadband cable leverages the existing infrastructure from cable TV to cover large geographical areas, especially here in the United States. Today, if you want broadband cable, your provider offers different packages that vary in speed. So for example, I use broadband cable from Xfinity, and they offer download speeds anywhere from 25 megabits per second all the way up to 400 megabits per second. So if you were to order cable internet for your home, your cable internet provider would send you a modem, or typically they would send you a modem with a Wi-Fi router combo, which is often referred to as a gateway. And this device would be a modem with a built-in switch and Wi-Fi router all in one. So when you receive this modem from your ISP, you would attach a coaxial cable that's routed into your home, and then you would attach it to the back of the device. The modem is what brings the internet into your home, and the switch and the Wi-Fi router is so that you can connect multiple wired and wireless devices such as computers, laptops, tablets to the modem to give them internet access. And that's basically it. Now, cable does have a downside, and that's because you, along with the other homes in your neighborhood, will all have to share a pool of bandwidth that's been provided by your cable provider in your area. So what that basically means is that during peak hours of surfing the internet or streaming or downloading, you may experience a slowdown in your internet speed, and that's because the people in your neighborhood are all using the internet bandwidth. Now, DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line. DSL is another popular technology that is used by homes and businesses to access broadband data over the internet. DSL can carry both voice and data at the same time over phone lines. It has a DSL modem like this one here that uses common telephone lines to carry its data. And because DSL uses phone lines, you don't want to confuse DSL with the older and painfully slow dial-up connection, which also uses phone lines. DSL is a high-speed connection that is much faster than the ancient dial-up connections. And with DSL, you can go on the internet and talk on the phone at the same time, unlike a dial-up connection where you can only do one at a time. Now, DSL is not as fast as cable, but it is cheaper. And also with DSL, you don't have to share bandwidth with your neighborhood like cable does. Everyone using DSL has their own dedicated connection. It's not a shared line. And DSL is more widely available than cable because it uses common telephone lines, which are nearly everywhere. Now, the speed of DSL can vary depending on where you live, but on an average, they offer download speeds anywhere from 5 megabits per second up to 100 megabits per second. And just like cable, when you order DSL through a provider, they will also send you a DSL modem Wi-Fi router combo. But instead of attaching a coaxial cable, you would plug a typical phone line with a phone jack to the back of a DSL modem. Now, there are a few different forms of DSL, and one is called ADSL, which stands for Asymmetric Digital Subscriber Line. Now, this is called asymmetric because the download speed is considerably faster than the upload speed. This type of DSL is mainly used in homes because home users typically download a lot more than upload. And ADSL is the cheapest form of DSL. And there's also SDSL, which stands for Symmetric Digital Subscriber Line. And this, as the name implies, the download and upload speeds are the same. And this type of DSL is typically used in businesses. And finally, there's VDSL, which stands for Very High Bit DSL. And this is a fast form of DSL that also runs over copper wire. And because it uses copper wire, it's really only made for short distances. For long distances, it can also use fiber optic cable. VDSL is roughly 3 times faster than ADSL. And finally, there's fiber internet. Fiber offers the fastest internet speeds available today. It has download and upload speeds of 1,000 megabits per second, so it's very fast. And the reason why it's so fast is because it uses light to send data running through fiber optic cable. And fiber optic cable is what's already used as the backbone of the internet. And in addition to the benefit of the faster speed, fiber can also travel much longer distances than DSL or cable. And this is because DSL and cable transmit data using electricity over copper cable, and signals in a copper cable can be affected by electromagnetic interference as it travels, which can weaken the signal, especially over a long distance. But fiber uses light to transmit its data, and it transmits it over a thin glass cable, which makes it less vulnerable to interference. So as you might have guessed, fiber is more expensive than DSL or cable. And fiber is relatively new compared to DSL or cable. The infrastructure is not there yet, so fiber may not be available in many locations.
So I don't know that whether I continue the next video, or do you have any question regarding anything in this video? Because last class as well, I try to give some things like example from I don't know. I need to stop the sharing. So last class as well, we have taken something about the cable connections. So the DSL is also there. Yeah, from here. So we have the internet backbone, ISP, and other things. Then the telephone modem, DSL, cable modem, then broadband. All the things we have covered last class. And I told you that it will be very difficult to get all the things very quicker. But those things are we have used very long before. So whatever things are you have shown, like you can saw through the video. If you have any question, query, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll share the video in the YouTube channel, okay? In our YouTube channel. So I believe that it is little bit okay, okay?
Okay, sir. Yes.
I have a question.
You have question, please.
Sir, the broadband internet that we use in our home,
Yeah.
can it be classified as a fiber connection, or it's not ADSL as far as I know? So is it a fiber connection?
Yeah, because the term broadband, okay, so the definition, just you can see the definition. So broadband means a connection in which transfer speed is faster than the 120 bits per second. Okay, so this is from the book. So maybe in around 2000, 2005, 6. So they took it as a 120 bit per second. Bit per second, you can easily get bit per second. Bit means bit, okay? And whatever MBPS we can get, it is a byte. So 8-bit means 1 byte, okay? So it is 120 bits per second. If it is faster than this, that time we said the connection as broadband. So if the broadband is connected by fiber optic or 5G or 4G or 3G or whatever connection you have, if it is faster than this, that time we call that one as broadband.
Got it.
Okay, and the connection is there. To meet the broadband things, you have to do something, because in the video it says that if you use copper wire, that time you have the electromagnetic like properties are there. Also resistivity is there. So coaxial cable. So after some distance, you may need some repeater and other things, because the speed will be fall down. Okay, so for longer distance, to maintain this speed, you may need, like if you are a designer, because you know that I told you that please be here as a not as a student, rather than from the very first class I told you to be like a designer. Okay, so in front of you, if you have a problem that in your area you are asked to design a broadband connection, so what kind of like cable will you use? There are fiber optic, there are coaxial cable, there are wireless. There are many kind of RJ45 Cat 5 cables. What kind of things will you use? Okay, so that time you have to think, you have to design your things. Okay, so within the home, maybe you will not use so many, like in your home you have so many wireless devices, so many small devices, you will not use the cables. So within the home, within this 10-meter range, I will use wireless, and I will use 100 Mbps or 10 Mbps wireless connection. Same thing. Okay, so wireless broadband is there. Then if it is within the floors, maybe we will not use wireless, rather than we will use cable connection. So if it is the backbone, so backbone means only one connection I need. So that time maybe I'll use fiber optic, because this is a backbone, and with this backbone everybody will be connected. And within one floor, because the backbone cannot be cut, the backbone cannot be maintained every time. Okay, because this is a backbone, but individual devices can be maintained. Okay, so in the and fiber optic is very costly. So if you use fiber optic in your whole system, it will be very costly. So nobody will give you money for a costlier things. Okay, so for that reason, for a designing purpose, to maintain this kind of speed, you have to think that which one will be better. I believe that I can give you answer more than what you expect.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me show the video first, because the time is going on. So please write down the query or question. Okay, you can ask me anytime. Okay, please write down even during the video. Okay, so DSL and other things are finished. Maybe next one is, as I told you that last class,
Hello, everyone.
there is one term called Ethernet. Okay, so Ethernet cable, the Ethernet is a standard term from the standard internet. Internet is a network. So from the basic standard network, they said that if you want to make a standard network, use our standard devices. Okay, so devices certified by, like router certified by that standard things, or computer certified by those standard things, cable certified by those standard things. Then the these are the things. Okay, so the first overall total network, whenever we built that project, was named as Ethernet. So because of that, whatever things they use at the first time, they call that one as Ethernet, and they use everything, that Ethernet card, Ethernet cable, Ethernet socket, Ethernet. So Ethernet means the first project name. Okay, so here we'll show you the Ethernet cables. So here we have Ethernet cables, then U2P, then STP, straight, crossover, Cat 5, 6, 7, 8 network cables are there. Okay, please see the video. If you don't understand anything, please ask me the question. Otherwise, the video is self-explanatory. Okay.
In this video, we're going to talk about Ethernet network cables that are used in local area networks. And
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Because let me share, because I have to. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
referring to twisted pair cables. These are the Ethernet cables that you'll find as you connect your computer to your router or modem so you can have internet access. One end of the cable plugs into your computer's network interface card, and the other end plugs into the network port of your router, switch, or modem, depending upon what you're using. Now, Ethernet twisted pair cables come in two different types. The first type is unshielded twisted pair, which is by far the most common type of cable that is used today. Unshielded twisted pair consists of 4 pairs of color-coded wires twisted around each other. The wires are twisted to prevent electromagnetic interference or crosstalk. This type of network cable is what most people use in their home or business. And the second type is shielded twisted pair. Shielded twisted pair is very similar to unshielded twisted pair, except that it has a foil shield that covers the wires. And this shielding adds an extra layer of protection against electromagnetic interference leaking into and out of the cable. This type of cable is mainly used for industrial purposes and not so much in a home or business. So if you were the kind of person that is going to make their own custom cables for your network, typically you would buy a bulk roll of twisted pair cable, and then you would have to wire them correctly and then attach RJ45 connectors to each end. So to do this, you would have to remove the protective sheathing at each end of the network cable to expose the wires. And this is done by using a cable stripper. The cable is inserted into the cable stripper, and then the outer sheathing is removed to expose the wires. And then you would insert the cable into a wire crimper to attach an RJ45 connector. But before you attach the connector, the wires in the cable have to be arranged in a certain order. And that order will be different depending upon the purpose of the cable. So for example, the most common types of twisted pair cables that are used in a local area network are straight and crossover cables. And these two cables have two different purposes. So let's talk about the wiring order that these twisted pair cables use. And there are two different wiring standards that are used. One standard is called 568A, and the other standard is 568B. And on the screen you can see the wiring order for both the A and B standards. The orders are based on the color of the wires. So for example, the 568A standard is wired in this order: white green, green, white orange, blue, white blue, orange, white brown, and brown. And the 568B standard is wired in the following order: white orange, orange, white green, blue, white blue, green, white brown, and brown. So the only difference between the A and B standards is the green wires are swapped with the orange. And it doesn't really matter which standard you use. Both standards do the same thing. But here in the US, most people use the B standard. So whether you choose the A or B wiring standard, if both ends of the cable are wired using the same standard, then this is known as a straight cable, which is also known as a patch cable. A straight cable allows signals to pass through from end to end. This is the most common type of cable that's used in local area networks. A straight cable is used to connect computers to hubs, switches, routers, or modems. Or in other words, it's used to connect dissimilar devices together. So as I said before, this is by far the most common cable that's used on local area networks. So these two straight cables here do the exact same thing. The only difference is that one cable is wired using the A standard and the other one is wired using the B standard. So let's talk about a crossover cable. Now a crossover cable is also used on local area networks, but it's not as common as a straight cable. A crossover cable is created when both ends of the cable are wired using the two different standards. For example, one end is wired using the A standard and the other end is wired using the B standard. Crossover cables are used to connect two similar devices together. For example, crossover cables are used to connect two computers directly to each other without using a hub or switch. And they can be also used to connect hubs to hubs or switches to switches. So they are used to connect two of the same devices together. Now, in addition to talking about the different types of twisted pair cables, we also have to talk about the categories of twisted pair cables. And these categories are called Cat3, Cat5, Cat6, and Cat7. And the difference between these is a maximum speed that they can handle without having any crosstalk or interference. The numbers of these categories represent the tightness of the twists that are applied to the wires. And as you can see on the illustration, are the categories and speeds of the different twisted pair cables. So as you can see, the speed ranges from the lowest category, which is Cat3 at 10 megabits per second, and all the way up to Cat6A and Cat7, which has speeds of 10 gigabits per second. Now most networks today would use at least Cat5e on their networks, because most networks would be running at least at gigabit speeds. So Cat3 and Cat5 are slower than gigabit and are pretty much obsolete today. But of course, if you're running a network that can handle 10 gigabit speeds, you would have to use Cat6A or Cat7 on your network. But even if you have an older network that's running slower speeds, you can still use Cat7 because it is backward compatible. Cat7 is actually a shielded twisted pair version of Cat6A. And finally, the latest version is Cat8. Now, Cat8 is the ultimate copper cable. It's a shielded twisted pair cable which has a delivery speed of 40 gigabits per second up to a distance of 30 meters, which is 4 times faster than Cat6A or Cat7.
So is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Any question? There must be some question. Otherwise, I'll ask you question. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Is it clear?
It's clear.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that. Any
Yes,
question?
sir.
Okay, so let me tell my story. Okay, if you have any question, you may ask. Here, during my time, okay, when I was exactly like your age, so during that time, in IUT, so in 2001 or 2001, okay, during that time I was in South 502, and later on I was shifted to 5010. Okay, so and that time there was no IUT hall networking. Okay, so during that time we said that, okay, in my room we used to play games. So whenever I shifted from 502 to 5010, that time we said that we must because we played games before. Okay, so we want to make the network that time. Okay, so we try to make our own cable network, and that time the cable was really costly. Okay, the cat 5 was there. Cat 5 took around 1 meter, take like 1 meter was maybe around 50 taka. Okay, and that time we can buy this kind of telephone cables. So this is the telephone cables. Okay, so in the telephone cable by 2 taka. Okay, so for a student with the pocket allowance money, we can use this like telephone cable for utilizing as a cat 3 cable. Okay, so this kind of cat 5 cables. Okay, so can you see here, for this telephone cable we have only 4 cables, and for internet we have 8 cables. Okay, so RJ45, they have 8 connections, and here this is RJ25, maybe the cable, I just forget. So it has only 4 things. Okay, so I believe that you got the cross connection and straight connection. So for that, because we don't care about the speed, we care about the networking. So we don't think that we don't need this kind of twisted pair cable. So in this connection, but we need the connector. So in this connection, I still remember, because I used to read those things. So straight connection take like this way, like 1, 2, and 5, 6. These are the main cable, and other the white cables. Okay, those white cables should be placed, because we have the blue, orange, red, and green, or brown and green. Okay, something like that. So this blue, orange, red, green should be 1, 2, 6, 5, 6. Okay, other places should be placed this kind of white places. Okay, so we take these 4 cables and put those things in 1, 2, and 5, 6 in the RJ45 cables. Okay, and it work perfectly with those here 1, 2, 5, and 6. We just put the cables. Straight cables means I have to use 1, 2, 5, 6 in the same manner, and we can connect the 2 computer can be connected through hub. Okay, and if you don't want through hub, because within my room my friends was there, we don't have the hub, and my like I have my laptop, I have also my desktop. So that time I don't need to use my hub to connect those, because if I use my laptop directly connected to the hub, it will be public. Okay, so that time we use the cross connection. So this cross connection means without this hub, directly 2 computer can be connected directly without the hub. Okay, these 2 computer can be connected directly. We call this one as ad hoc connection as well. So that time we need the cross connection. That means 1, 2, 5, 6, maybe 1, 5 26 should be cross. Okay, you can search those cross connection. Still I forget, because during the third year I have this kind of all the equipments I have. Still I have in my decks, I have all the things, and I usually connect those things, so the networking and other things. So these are very fantastic, like fantasy was there that we can connect. Internet means connecting the people. So connecting people means connecting friends. So as an electrical engineer, I believe that my best friends are the devices. So if I connect more device, I can connect more friends within myself. Okay, so this kind of crossover and other connection, I was really like, I like those things. Okay, so I just share my story. I don't know that whether it is boring or not, but we played the games during that our time. There was not multiplayer game that much, but we used to play what, Unreal Tournament, you can search, then the Commandos, because these are the old games, Age of Empires, then the
These are nice games, sir.
yeah, I
Oh,
love
we have played
Commandos.
these games.
Yes.
I love Commandos. Okay, still I love Commandos. Okay, then FIFA, then Lara 99, Lara 2000 was there.
Lara Croft.
Commandos, I love Commandos, and the Commandos is still there, and I downloaded that Commandos again, but I don't have the time. But Commandos, I love Commandos. Okay, so that game was really, and Age of Empires and other things are there. Okay, I'm not advertising the games, rather than I'm advertising the fact how two people, I'm not there, but my avatar was there, and we can talk each other because of the fantastic technology created by us, this kind of like data communication engineers, and because of that we can play without anything, and fantastic things. Okay, so let me finish another video. Another two videos are there. I'll take another, so I'll because these are not that much, then I'll go to the question, because those questions are very straightforward. Okay, another video, because these things I believe that without asking the question, you should give the, like, you should know the, because regarding the hub, switch, what is the main difference between hub, switch, and other things. Okay, let me share the screen again with the video and audio. So just check that what is hub, what is switch, what is router. If you have any question, please ask me. Okay, because from 2000 I use these kind of things, I know the terms. So if you have any confusion, ask me, because you are using in your home. And I told you that day that in your home, regarding any engineering thing, your parents, your relative, your father, mother, your cousins, they will ask you, please suggest me what I'll buy. Okay, so you have to know. So just know what is hub, what is switch, what is router, what is bridge, what is gateway. Try to understand the terms.
In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between a hub, a switch, and a router. Now, all three of these devices are similar, but there is a difference in the way they handle data. So we'll first talk about a hub. Now, the purpose of a hub is to connect all of your network devices together on an internal network. It's a device that has multiple ports that accepts Ethernet connections from network devices. Now, a hub is considered not to be intelligent because it does not filter any data or has any intelligence as to where the data is supposed to be sent. And that's because the only thing a hub knows is when a device is connected to one of its ports. So when a data packet arrives at one of the ports, it is copied to all of the other ports. So all the devices on that hub sees that data packet. So again, a data packet comes into one port, then the hub will just rebroadcast that data to every port that has a device connected to it. So even if this computer here only wanted to communicate with this computer over here, these other computers would still receive the data even though the data was not intended for them. So when this happens, it not only creates security concerns, but it also creates unnecessary traffic on the network, which wastes bandwidth. Now, a switch is very similar to a hub. It's also a device that has multiple ports that accepts Ethernet connections from network devices. But unlike a hub, a switch is intelligent. A switch can actually learn the physical addresses of the devices that are connected to it, and it stores these physical addresses, called MAC addresses, in its table. So when a data packet is sent to a switch, it's only directed to the intended destination port, unlike a hub, where a hub will just rebroadcast the data to every port. So as an example, if this computer here wanted to communicate with this computer over here, the data packet arrives at the switch, and then the switch will look at its table of MAC addresses and matching ports and deliver the data to the correct port, and then the data packet would only go to that computer. So that's the major difference between a hub and a switch. So as a result, switches are far more preferred over hubs because they reduce any unnecessary traffic on the network. So as a review, a hub only detects that a device is physically connected to it, and a switch can detect specific devices that are connected to it because it keeps a record of the MAC addresses of those devices. Now, hubs and switches are used to exchange data within a local area network, for example, such as in your home network or in a business. They are not used to exchange data outside their own network, such as out on the internet, because to exchange or route data outside their own network to another network, such as out on the internet, a device needs to be able to read IP addresses, and hubs and switches do not read IP addresses. So that's where the router comes in. Now, a router does exactly what its name implies. A router is a device that routes or forwards data from one network to another based on their IP address. When a data packet is received from the router inspects the data's IP address and determines if the packet was meant for its own network or if it's meant for another network. If the router determines that the data packet is meant for its own network, it receives it. But if it's not meant for its own network, it sends it off to another network. So a router is essentially the gateway of a network. So here we have a private network with its router, and we'll refer to this as the red network, indicated by the red colored screens on the computers. And over here you're going to have different data packets, indicated by their different colors, which represents different IP addresses, and they are going to be entering the red network's router from the internet. Now the router is only going to accept the red data packets, because they are the only ones that are intended for this network. So all of the other data packets, the yellows, blues, greens, etc., will be rejected by this router because they were not intended for this network because their IP addresses were not meant for this network. Now here is an expanded view of routers over the internet. There are 4 networks here, indicated by their different colors, and each network has their own router, along with their hubs or switches and their computers. So right now, as you can see, each network is just exchanging information within their own network. Their data is not going out on the internet, so they are not communicating with other networks. They are just exchanging data within their own network using their hub or switch. Now let's go ahead and exchange data between different networks. So let's say, for example, that this computer here on the red network wants to communicate with a computer here on the blue network. So for this to happen, the data packet has to leave their own network and go out on the internet. So the computer sends their data, and it goes to the network's router. And once the data packet reaches the router will look at the IP address of the data packet and then forward the data out on the internet to the next router, and then make its way to the blue network's router, and then to the intended destination computer. So in a nutshell, this is how routers work. So in conclusion, hubs and switches are used to create networks, while routers are used to connect networks.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question? Because it's very straightforward, but I believe that due to these things, I didn't explain all the things, but just try to know that hub in the market, you can, if you want to buy the hub, you can buy it very in a cheap rate. Okay, so there are hub, and a hub doesn't have any brain. So because of that, it like if you want to connect directly any computer, all the computer connected to the hub will be like receive the data. Okay, so that time it's not efficient enough. But in the switch, it has the IP addresses things. Okay, so MAC addresses things. Okay, so in the switch it has MAC addresses. So try to understand that from this kind of videos there are so many terms. Okay, so one term is today we learn MAC So one term is MAC. So this is MAC. So MAC, this is C. MAC. Okay. So MAC means medium access control address. Okay. So we'll discuss these things later on. So in depth. So without learning this MAC, please don't leave the class, leave the semester. Okay. Ask me if you don't understand. Then we have also heard about what IP address, something IP. So those IP address or internet protocol address, there is another term. So do not leave the class without understanding what is IP. Another term will come, TCP, okay, transfer control protocol. Without learning this term, please do not leave the class. Okay, please. Otherwise it will, because even not for this semester, like exam or this course, but for your whole life, these terms you'll need. Okay, you'll need these things. Okay, so switch and hubs are very straightforward. In the switch, you can directly communicate to each other, and the router actually route the data, okay, with the IP addresses. So IP addresses is connected with the MAC address. Okay, each of the devices is given one IP address depending upon their MAC addresses. Okay, MAC means like medium access control address. It's a physical address. Okay, so with that, actually router knows. So that time it says that only the red color things came. Okay, so only here red data is came to this network. Other things is move, because the router knows which data should be passed. So this is actually done by the router. Another things is there is like a bridge. Okay, so bridge is nothing but it's a repeater. Okay, repeater is also there. So they don't have any kind of brain or other things. They just connect one devices without thinking anything. Only that connection. Bridge means I have two cables. I just connect those things. It's a bridge. Okay. So
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, in this scenario, suppose I am using a router and my friend is also using a router from the same ISP. In that case, suppose the red data is meant for me. So if the data line actually sends like the blue, orange, these colors, then isn't it like a waste of data in my line? Because in my broadband line, I am using only my data only, right?
Yeah. So just look at here, what they discussed. Like in your IP, only the red one will only move. Okay.
Sir, this one will be decided by the central router.
No, because if not central data, who will create the data?
The computers, sir.
Computers will create the data. Okay, so just look here what they discussed. At the last, they discussed that one data.
So for this to happen,
okay, so one data, something like, so one blue data is created from this red one. Okay, from this red computer, one data is created and it was destined. So destination is now blue. So this data should move where? From this place to the blue. So it will be routed everywhere. It will check the blue one will come. So which path I'll go? So it should be go to here. So blue one is there. Which path I'll go? It will not go to here or go to there. It will go to here. Okay. So blue is going to there. Just
and
look.
it goes to the
That blue is checking.
data packet reaches the router. The router will look at the IP address of the data packet and then forward the data out on the internet to the next router, and then make its way to the blue network's router, and then to the intent.
Okay, so within your network, only the red one is moving. Your red one data is not moving to outside. So this is actually switch. Here you have the switch, and router will route the internet data. Okay, other outsider data. It will route. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have another question, sir.
Okay, of course.
Sir, that is the MAC address. Like
Yeah.
every hardware have its own MAC address.
Yes.
Then how is it actually assigned? Is it randomly or when or the manufacturers actually define it?
Okay, so hardware means I just don't move. Come, like be here. Don't leave. Don't unmute. Come again. I cake jono question korchila. Come again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Be here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't unmute. Okay. So hardware address means what? You are the hardware. So if I put your name by Akika, so that is your hardware name. Do you get me? So hardware name means your original name. Nobody can delete that one. So you call that one as in your mobile. There is another name called IME number. That is a unique number for any mobile. So any Wi-Fi device, if it is manufactured, they have MAC address. Any Wi-Fi. Okay, any Wi-Fi device, that means Wi-Fi you are using in your mobile phone, you can find out one MAC address. If you use it in your like computer, you can find out one MAC address. Okay, so MAC address means anything, any network device should have one MAC address that is unique for that device. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. But sir, in the Samsung mobiles, there is an option like the randomized MAC address for
No.
security.
No, not randomized MAC address. So alias of the MAC address you can easily do. Okay.
Oh, sir, I have been actually testing my connections like in my Tether app. I mean the router management app.
Yeah.
In that app, I have actually tested like every time my Samsung device actually connects, it gives a random address. If I keep that option on, or if I disable only that.
Which
the MAC
which kind of address? Okay, it's not IP address or MAC.
Sir, MAC address.
So MAC address means you are making a virtual MAC address through your router. Your router have those ability. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So create the MAC address with your MAC address, because you can bind, because there are some option called binding. Okay, so you can reserve some address. Okay, so your router have those ability that your Samsung device can have different, like they assign those address differently for your Samsung devices. Okay, but if you find out the Wi-Fi option, okay, inside you can go to the Wi-Fi option and advance and check the details. You can find out the IP like IP address and MAC address over there. Okay, so that is unique. That should be unique. I have the IP address, MAC address, everything is there. So you can check within the mobile phone in your Wi-Fi. It should be unique. Okay, IME number should be unique. But there are like you can generate for your security purpose. You can generate the virtual private network and other things, proxy. Those are the things are there. We'll discuss those things later on. Okay, let me finish, because you are asking very advanced things because you are using those things. Okay.
So one small question, sir. Not
Okay.
advanced, sir.
Okay.
Like following up on this, sir. You said that every MAC address has a unique IP associated with it.
No.
Not
Every
that,
MAC address is unique, but
Yes.
IP address should be associated by your router.
by router, exactly, sir. So if my router communicates with any device, it
Yeah.
will create a IP relationship between each other.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So in your IP, there are two kind of IP. One is local IP.
Yes, sir.
I'll discuss those things. My watch is hearing myself. Okay, it gives me IP. So there is two kind of IP. In your switch, there is one called local IP. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and in the router, it will be global IP. Okay, so it will be like in your okay, we'll discuss those things IP later on. Okay, I told you that without learning the IP things, don't leave the class. We'll discuss the IP every time. Okay, so don't leave the class. Okay, so put the question inside. Let me finish the class. I feel that I want to show you some another 2 or 3 videos. Otherwise you cannot finish the assignment. It will be very easy. Can you give me another 2 or 3 like 10 minutes? I'll
Yes,
go.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You play it, sir. No problem.
Okay, so don't ask me question. Okay, let me finish this first. Okay, because otherwise the assignment will be no longer. So check the
Graphical area.
circuit switching and packet switching over here. Okay, because I'll share the video.
STA networks are connected through central offices, which act as telephone exchanges, each serving a certain geographical area. When a person A calls a person B, for example, the telephone network is trying different circuits to find an available channel. A connection must be established before they start their conversations. Once the channel is decided, it guarantees the full bandwidth and remains connected for the duration of the communication session until users terminate their connection. When you are making PSTN call or traditional telephone call, you are actually renting the lines. That's why international telephone call or long-distance telephone call was expensive. Packet switching uses different methods. Packet switching networks are connected through many routers, each serving different segments of networks. Data is broken into packets before it is transported. In packet switching, packets can travel any path on the network to their destination because each packet contains an IP address and sequencing information. Therefore, they don't need to follow each other. They can travel any network path, and they can find the fastest channel available at any instant. They don't need to arrive in sequence because they can reassemble together at the destination. The internet is based on a packet switching protocol, TCP/IP. The circuit switched networks and packet switch networks have
I stop here, okay? Otherwise, other things you can easily see, because I feel that you understood what is packet switching and circuit switching from the graphical perspective, okay? So let me finish those 3 questions first. Then if I get another 5 minutes, I'll show you the another interesting video, okay, about the packet switching. So otherwise, let me come here, okay? So last class, let me finish, because these are the very straightforward things. So last class I told you about the Ethernet. This is the main standard for the whole things, okay? So whenever we try to create the industry standard network, we call that one as Ethernet, because I have to buy a network card, the cables, then router, then servers, then computer, all together we call this one as Ethernet, okay? So last class we have discussed these things, okay? Today I will ask you to write down these equations. So this is actually called packet transmission delay equations, okay? So packet transmission delay equation means it's really straightforward, that host sending a data takes like just takes application a message. So each application break down the packets with a L length, okay? Length means the bits, okay? 00 like means 8 bits, 1 length, okay? Length is defined by the bits, okay? So length is defined by the bits, and it's called a packet. So L bits, if you say that 16 bits packet, that means 16 bits means 1 length of the packet, okay? So the data usually through the cables, it usually moves sequentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, okay? But each of the 6 up, if I say that L equals 16, so after each of the 16, the computer will decide this is 1 packet. Then 17 to 32, another packet. Then 33 to 48, another packet, something like that, okay? So it will count the numbers and say that this is the packet. So the transmission packet into the network is R. If it takes R times, that time the packet delays, sorry, nothing but L over R, because the total packet and how much time it will take. So this is actually, if you cut bit, it will give you the second. So L over R is the second. So this is actually my bit per second is my bandwidth or my speed, okay? So that is the capacity, bit per second. So if you say that this Mbps, so that Mbps divided, like that Mbps should be divided through your total data. So total length or total data divided by that Mbps will give you the packet transmission delay, how fast I will get. So my voice or other things. So this is straightforward. Please write down L over R second, because bit will cut, okay? So L over R second. This is a second. This is packet transmission delay. So L/R. Please write L/R second in your question. Okay. So next one is, please write down the twisted pair. So write down the name of the physical media. Just write down twisted pair or TP, twisted pair from this slide, because you have already know from the video what is twisted pair. Okay. So each of the pair is twisted. Okay. Each of the pair is twisted. This white cables does not contain any data. Okay. So all the white, because it has 4 cables. 4 cables is for the data line. One is green, blue, red, and black. Okay. So these 4 cables will transmit the data, and other cables, which actually are nothing but white cables. Okay. So those are twisted so that within the cable there are magnetic effect. Okay. Magnetic interference. So whenever you will send data in 100 Mbps, or you can use, you have seen in the video that Cat6 is 1 Gbps, like 10 Gbps. So 10 Gbps data uploading and downloading within this very small cable is happening. So what happened? Because of that, there are some magnetic effect. So there are some magnetic effect within the cable. So to eliminate those magnetic effect, what happened? Every cable has some twisted thing. So because of the twisted, the magnetic effect will be twisted, because we don't have the straight line. So we don't have, if there is no straight line, so magnet, like, you know that the magnetic effect will be plus minus through the cables. Okay. We don't, if you have straight line, that time the effect will be like that. Okay. Effect will be like that. But whenever we have it's now 3D things. Okay. Maybe something 3D will be happening. Okay. So because of that, we can cancel each other. So twisted pair cable will neglect the magnetic effect within itself. And the STP, they have the shielded, they have extra foil paper in between, and because of that, you can easily delete another magnetic effect altogether. So twisted pairs are there. I believe that you learned these things. So write down only twisted pair. Here, write down only coaxial cable and fiber optic. 2 names. So coaxial cable is nothing but the dish antenna cables. Those are the very speedy cables before, like in history. But nowadays the fiber optics are there. So fiber optics works very efficient manner, because it's the light is passing. Okay. So passing through over there. So we need the fiber optic modems. So write down coaxial and fiber optic from this slide. Okay. Nothing else. Please write down fiber optic, and previously it was only the names. And you know this details from the videos. I'll show the videos again. From here, please write down these things like wireless LAN. Write down. Okay. I'll discuss all the things in the next semester. So wireless LAN, wireless access point, WAP, WLAN, and wireless local area, like wireless wide area wireless access. Okay. This is actually WiMAX or telephone line. Okay. So write down these names only. Okay. So that you can ask me question next time. Write down only the names. WAP, LAN, and wide area wireless access, like WiMAX, something like, or 3G, 4G, LTE. So write down only the names. We'll discuss detail in the next semester. Okay. So I believe that I should finish the course, but I really want to show you 2 videos. I don't know. I'll share the videos. Just give me 5 minutes. This video is the 3 minutes. Okay. This is very interesting. Please give me 3 minutes only. 3 minutes. I know that this is the lengthy class, but give me 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Make a little bit.
Have you ever wondered what happens when someone in England visits the World Science Festival's webpage? First, their computer needs to ask the World Science Festival server for a copy of that web page. The computer sticks this request into a virtual envelope called a packet, wrapped with specific information about that request, including the World Science Festival's IP address. The computer sends this packet out of the house and below the street via large underground copper wires. It passes through small regional networks before ending up here at Telehouse North in London. Telehouse North is England's main internet hub. The IP address on this packet tells the hub that the World Science Festival server is actually in Los Angeles. So Telehouse North sends the packet out as light across the Atlantic, over fiber optic cables buried deep beneath the ocean. The packet ends up here, 60 Hudson Street, New York City, the largest internet hub on the East Coast. This hub sends the packet through a series of regional networks connecting New York to Los Angeles, where the World Science Festival server resides. The server reads the request and gets ready to send the web page to England. But web pages made up of images and text are too large to send as a single packet of data. So how do we get it back to England? Imagine a group of 5,000 tourists visiting New York City in a single gigantic tour bus. They are way up in Harlem, but they want to visit the Statue of Liberty before it closes. But it's rush hour, on a Friday. There's no way that giant bus is going to fit through those crazy congested streets. So they decide to get off the bus and spread out. Some take the subway, some take cabs, a few rent bikes, and some even take kayaks down the Hudson River. How they get there doesn't matter, as long as they get there on time. Likewise, for the internet to work efficiently, this web page is pulverized into thousands of tiny packets of data, each one wrapped with all of the information it needs to rebuild itself in England. The packets are sent to LA's One Wilshire hub, which checks the traffic report before sending them off. Through miles and miles of land they travel, checking in through different hubs. Like our New York City tourists, those packets don't care how they get there, as long as they get there as fast as possible. Most of them will go through 60 Hudson in New York, where they are redirected back to England as light, riding a fiber of glass as thick as a silver dollar. Then back on copper wire, through regional British networks, until all the packets reach their destination and this epic journey, it all happens in about a second, along with trillions upon trillions of similar journeys that happen each and every day on this remarkable, easy to take for granted network of networks we call the Internet.
Okay, boys. I believe I should stop here. Okay, I should stop here. So, if you have any question, do you have any question? Should I stop? Do you have any question?
No questions.
Sir,
Yes, you have one question.
sir, is packet somehow analogous to the baud rate or the baud?
Bot? I didn't
Sir,
get.
baud, B-A-U-D, sir. It is like the symbol. I mean the arrangement of bits used to express a symbol.
Next
The
class,
baud rate.
okay, so next class, please ask this question, because packet is itself a unique word and it's not analogous to anything. It's a technical word. Okay, so maybe we'll discuss those things in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Otherwise, you may leave. You may leave if you don't have any question and other things. And
Thank you,
next
sir.
class,
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
alaikum salam. Next class, maybe I'll discuss one, not assignment, one program, one project. Okay. Next class, I'll discuss one project. So thank you very much for your patience. Sorry for a lengthy class, but I feel that it was too interactive, and because of that, it became a little bit lengthier. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Please.
In the first video, they said that Cat 8 is the ultimate cable. So have we reached the theoretical limit? Or like, is there no possible way to create Cat 9 cable?
Listen, the thing is that whether you will use Cat 9 or fiber optic, this is the case. So nowadays, whenever the fiber optics was not there, they invest the research and other things on the copper wire. But nowadays, nobody use above Cat 7, because if you think about above Cat 7, please go for the fiber optic. Isn't it the right choice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
understand.
because you know that theoretically the speed of electron is equivalent to light. So if you put the electron through a copper wire, you will not, like, even theoretically you will not get the light speed. Okay, maybe if you use gold wire or the superconductor, maybe you will get the highest speed equivalent to light. So it will be better use the light itself through the fiber
Yes,
optic. Okay.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay. So any question or other things? Otherwise, you may leave. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum assalam. Please take care. Please take care of your health, and please take care of the coronavirus. Thank you. Now I am stopping the video. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Hello, sir.